Good evening. We are so glad to have you with us for another outstanding show. I have outstanding guests for you this evening as well. But we want to start off just by letting you know I'm Dr. Tom Waters, I'm your host, and I have sitting next to me is Sarah Panariso.
Yes, sir.
And
Okay.
Sarah is just a truly outstanding person. She's with Honor Flight Southern Nevada. And if you don't know what Honor Flight Southern Nevada is all about, you're about to be excited about a program that is just so fantastic. For those that are veterans out there, it's definitely for you. For those who are family members of veterans, it's for you. For those who are friends of veterans, it's for you. And if you just happen to know a veteran, then it's for you as well. So this is for anybody and everybody when we talk about Honor Flight Southern Nevada. And I want to talk to Sarah. And Sarah, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
We are so glad to have you here because, everything I've heard about Honor Flight just tells me people need to know more.
I think everybody needs to know about Honor Flight and especially Honor Flight Southern Nevada if you live here. Yes.
Oh, fantastic. So I want to start off by saying when you talk about Honor Flight, tell me something about the program itself.
So Honor Flight is actually a national program. It
Okay.
was founded in January of 2005 in Ohio, and the first flights took place on the East Coast
Okay.
in May of 2005. And Honor Flight Southern Nevada was founded in June of 2013, and the very first flight was October 11th of 2013. And we transported 35 World War II veterans to
Okay.
Washington, D.C. to see the memorials. And our mission is to honor veterans and to transport them to Washington, D.C. to visit the memorials that are dedicated to honor the service and sacrifice of these veterans.
That is fantastic. Now I'm going to say something, and I know you don't have an answer for this one, so I'm not
Oh,
asking the question, I'm just stating it. We have a veteran, or had a veteran, World War II, Bill Daly. Bill Daly passed away. He was 95 years old, but he was a World War II veteran, served with General Patton, and he was on Honor Flight. And he came back and was telling me about it. And I got so excited. Now I knew, we have World War II, then we had Korea, and then we had Vietnam. So I knew I was going to be way down the line before I could go. But Bill got me excited. And you being here telling people about this program is just truly exciting.
that's great. That's how we get the word out is from people that go on the trips and
Okay.
they tell their friends, they tell their family, they tell other veterans about the trip and everything they get to experience and do when they're in Washington, D.C. And I think you'll agree, it's truly a trip that's life changing
And
and
it
very
definitely
memorable.
is. It definitely is. Okay. Now you have the veterans,
Yes.
and I do have to ask this the schedule. How
Okay.
do you schedule this?
So we do 2 trips a year
Okay.
of 25 World War II, Korean War, and Vietnam veterans. And we're usually in October and the spring.
Okay.
And our next trip to Washington, D.C. is actually April 14th through the 16th of 2023.
Oh,
And
before she goes on, for those veterans who have not signed up, we're talking about Vietnam veterans now,
yes,
maybe Korean War veterans if we still have some that have not gone.
and World War II, definitely World War II too.
Okay.
Yes,
World War II is going to be first.
yes.
They've got to have the priority, and we understand that. So if you have anybody that has served in any of these theaters, please have them sign up because if they're on the waiting list, even if they don't get to go on the next trip, they can go on one in the future.
Right. So, in order to sign up, you would go to honorflightsouthernnevada.org, and there's applications for veterans that you can apply. You can print out the application if you want online, fill it out, and mail it to us, or you can also just fill out the veteran application right online, and we will get it. And there is a waiting list for veterans. Our oldest veteran we've ever transported to Washington D.C. was 100, and
Wow.
right now our youngest veterans are 80 years old.
The youngest is 80. So if you're under 80, you're still waiting, but you're on the list. That's what matters.
Yes.
Oh, this is truly outstanding. Okay, when you get to DC, uh, what is the first thing you're going to do when you get to DC?
So we usually leave on Friday.
Okay.
Friday mornings, our time can range. Our last flight we left at 5 a.m., but you would never ever know it was 5 a.m. because all the veterans are just smiling from ear to ear. Everybody is so happy to be there. We fly into Baltimore Washington International Airport.
Okay, BWI.
Yes, and we go to the hotel. We have dinner that night, and on Fridays, usually the veterans do not know what to expect. They're talking with one another, meeting the other veterans. And then on Saturday morning, that is the day. Saturday is the day full of fun. So we leave the hotel, we have breakfast, we leave the hotel, and we see 7 monuments and memorials that entire day. We go to the World War II memorial, we go to the Korean War memorial, the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, Iwo Jima Nurses Memorial. We see the Air Force Memorial, and we go to Arlington and visit the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. And
Okay, now I'm going to have to take you back to something else.
yes,
The first thing you said was they have breakfast.
of course.
Okay, now, you know, with the trip, the whole bit, how much does it cost the veterans?
Absolutely nothing.
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 Oh,
This trip is totally free to the veterans. Our mission is to honor these veterans.
okay.
And that is how we do it. A lot of veterans are like, oh, I've already been to Washington, D.C. Well, you haven't been to Washington, D.C. the way we take you to Washington, D.C. You were honored the entire trip. You're treated like royalty. Interrupt me if I'm wrong.
No,
But
you're not wrong at all.
you will have no wants, no needs while you're on the trip. You're hungry, we have snacks, we have food, we have water. You will not want for anything while you're on this trip. We make sure your belly is full the entire time, and we also make sure there's food you can eat.
Now, I have to say something to the viewing audience. When you talk about if you've been to DC, and yes, you've seen some of the monuments and the memorials, I was stationed at Andrews, right outside of DC. Spent a lot of time in DC. I've seen them, but when I went with Honor Flight Southern Nevada, a whole new world. Just as Sarah just stated, the way you're treated, the way you're thanked for your service, just everything about it, and the fact, like I said earlier, no charge to the veteran, and everything is done for you. It's just amazing. These Everybody associated with Honor Flight Southern Nevada are perfect angels.
Oh.
In my book, they are angels. They've already gotten their wings.
Oh.
They're fantastic. So tell us more. We've finished breakfast now,
Okay.
and you were talking about the different memorials.
Yes, and then we either go to the Navy Memorial or the American Archives to see the Declaration of Independence, Constitution. And then Saturday night, you bond so quickly with the other veterans, and the Guardians are on this flight, that Saturday night is like night and day between Friday night. And everyone's laughing, and just the camaraderie and the friendships that are formed is it's wonderful. It's amazing. And I just absolutely love going on the trips, and I love volunteering for Honor Flight Southern Nevada.
You mentioned guardians. Now, what are the guardians?
So Guardians accompany the veterans, and a Guardian is kind of like their paparazzi. If they need someone to push them in the wheelchair, take their pictures so they don't have to do selfies in front of a monument. A Guardian is there to anything the veteran would want, anything they might need help with. That is what the Guardian's job is to do, and the Guardians do pay their way to go on the flight.
Now, who can serve as guardian?
Anyone over the age of 18 and under the age of 70.
Okay. If you're not a veteran, or if you're not one of the war theaters, as she mentioned, and you'd like to be a guardian and still go on this trip, now they pay their own way,
Yes.
but it's still phenomenal, and you couldn't ask more for the guardians. But how about a spouse?
Spouses do not go on the trips.
I mean, could they serve as a guardian?
Spouse cannot serve as a guardian unless they are a veteran themselves.
Okay.
And then they would be honored as well. But we want the trip to be about the veteran. It's 100% about the veteran. So when Guardians volunteer their time to go on these trips, They're 100% no. This trip is all about the veterans,
Okay.
what the veterans want to see, what the veterans want to do, and that's the whole trip is about honoring them.
I, you know, for anybody that has not been or have not received the information about Honor Flight Southern Nevada, we're going to ask that you go to the website and just to find out more and more about this program. This program is so fantastic. We can't say enough about it. I know we have another session coming up, and we're going to be talking about all the other things that are going on, how you sign up. Sarah's already talked about that, but we're going to repeat that for you because we want you to know exactly how to sign up, and for those people that want to support the program, how you can give donations and support this fantastic program for our veterans. Um, I know I go many different places and I'll get thank you for your service. This this program is one that it recognizes everything that we've ever done for our country and it is just so phenomenal. So Sarah, first thing I want to say is thanks again for everything.
It's absolutely my pleasure, and all the thanks goes to you and all the veterans.
She says that, and that's exactly what the Guardians say. The Guardians are there to help us, and we're going to tell you more about the Guardians. We're going to tell you more about the program, and I also want to talk about Belinda Morris because she's the president, and she's in charge of the entire program. She couldn't be here, and so she asked Sarah to come and fill in for her. And Sarah knows the program as well as Belinda does. But I wanted to give a shout out to Belinda for all she's done as well. So we have Sarah here, and Sarah has all the answers to everything we're going to be asking. So come back and join us for the second session. We're going to show you some pictures as well of the trip that I was on.
Yes.
And we'll tell you more about that. So come back and join us in the next session. Welcome back. We're so glad to have you back with us. I'm going to continue talking about Honor Flight Southern Nevada. And I have Sarah Panariso with us. And Sarah she's the second in command, I'm going to call it, when we talk about military, second in command. And she's with Belinda Morris, who is the president. And Belinda is so knowledgeable of the program. And Sarah is here to answer all the questions. So some of the questions we have is the fact that I got a chance to go on the honor flight, and Sarah was there, and I was just so impressed with everything I saw. I can't say enough about Honor Flight Southern Nevada. And because I could just keep on talking and talking, but I want Sarah to say it because Sarah can tell you all about the program and the veterans that they've served and how they serve the veterans. And I just think it's all amazing. So Sarah, in this session, tell us more about Honor Flight Southern Nevada.
Well, Honor Flight Southern Nevada is a nonprofit organization.
Okay.
We're a 501c3. We're completely run by volunteers.
All volunteers?
All volunteers.
So Belinda is a volunteer?
She is a volunteer, non-pay.
Wow.
Volunteer. And this year in 2022, we had over 6,000 volunteer hours.
Oh.
We have about 10 volunteers on our board and 10 on our advisor committee. And I'm the volunteer honor everywhere coordinator. Belinda is our president, and we have vice president. We have Donna as our guardian coordinator.
Okay.
We have Gretchen as our fundraising coordinator. We have Bobby as our veteran coordinator. So when you go, it's a team. It's an amazing team.
Yes.
That we work. It works so well together. And Belinda, she's just done a wonderful job of putting people into these positions, and it works really well. And we have an amazing time. We have a really good time.
Well, they have a great time, and the veterans have a great time. So
yes, we do.
You can't beat that when you put that mix together.
No, you can't. I would have never met you if it wasn't for Honor Flight Southern Nevada.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Being from Pahrump, we had a difficult time, but we had more veterans from Pahrump. And so Sarah stepped up and said, well, instead of driving at Old Dark 30 over here, why don't I get you a room so you can stay in Las Vegas, and that way you don't have to get up as early. And it's not something we thought about. It just something came up, but they reached out. Sarah reached out to us to say, look, What can we do to make it easier for you? And that's what it's all about. They are there to take care of the veterans, and I really appreciate it.
Yes, and that's because we knew you. And we wanted to make sure that you got there safely.
Oh,
Yes,
fantastic.
yes.
Okay, tell us more about everything that's going on with Honor Flight Southern Nevada.
So to date, this is something to celebrate. So
Yes.
Honor Flight Southern Nevada has was founded in 2013. Our first flight
Okay.
was in October. Since then, we have transported 491 World War II, Korean War, and Vietnam veterans to Washington, D.C. for free
491.
to see these
Wow.
monuments and memorials.
Okay. Now tell us about each of the memorials again.
So our very first stop is the World War II Memorial.
Okay.
And as you know, that's the newest memorial. It's the most recent memorial. And it's amazing. We have usually every flight, we have World War II veterans that are on the flight. This flight coming up, we actually have 3.
Oh,
And
okay.
we even have a female. And we lay a wreath at the World War II Memorial, and then we'll go. Our day can change, so all our day totally revolves around when we can lay a wreath at Arlington, the Tomb of
Okay.
the Unknown Soldier. So, but our very first stop is the World War II Memorial, and then somewhere in the day we'll visit the Korean War Memorial and lay a wreath. The Korean veterans can lay a wreath in the Vietnam Veteran Memorial, and we have the Air Force Memorial, Iwo Jima, the Nurses Memorial. We see the Arlington, of course, and the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, where 4 of our veterans get to place a wreath at the tomb. And a lot of people, when you ask them what their favorite part of the trip was, and it was being at the
Wagner.
right, our the changing of the guard at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier at Arlington, and then the National Archives or the Navy Memorial.
Well, I know you brought some pictures you'd like to share with the audience.
Yes.
So, what is the first picture you want to talk about?
The first picture is all the veterans at the World War II Memorial. You will see some of the best of Las Vegas, Henderson, Pahrump, Mesquite, Southern Utah, Northern Arizona. Whatever hub is closest to where they live, we'll transport those veterans. And that is at the very beginning, and we line them all up to take that picture. And can you see those smiles on their faces?
Absolutely. Yes. I know I was still smiling the whole time, so it was just fantastic. And what else do you have to tell us? Okay.
Um, a lot of people think that we make them see these memorials or these monuments, and that's not the case. It's one thing to see a picture of a memorial or a monument, but it's another thing to actually be there and to feel it and to see it, and to some veterans to even hear it. And so it can be an overwhelming experience, especially the Vietnam Memorial, the wall. There's just a feeling that comes over you, and it can be overwhelming. So if that's the case, the volunteers will communicate. The veterans will communicate to the guardians that this might be overwhelming or this might be difficult. And if they don't want to visit that memorial, they don't have to. We can do something else and be back on the bus when we need to be.
Okay. I know you have a picture at the Vietnam Memorial.
Yes.
Happened to be a picture of me, and that is pointing to the name of Melvin Waters, who happened to be my younger brother. Very emotional even talking about it right now, but this is the Vietnam Memorial, and this is about my 5th or 6th time going to the wall. The first time I went, it was very, very difficult, and it's still difficult. So, and I guess I came close to being on the wall. So it was one of those things, which is why I wear the Purple Heart.
Well,
So
I'm very grateful you're here.
I am very thankful
And
for the Marines, and I say that over and over. The Marine Corps, they stopped the attack, and that's what saved my life.
well, thank you so much for that sacrifice. Thank you. And to your family.
Okay, so we went to all the different memorials. The one, like you said, laying the wreath at the Tomb of the Unknown.
Yes, you
That
got
was
to do that.
that was just fantastic. to be able, if you've never been to the Tomb of the Unknown, you need to go, or just go on a website and it will show you what they're all about. Um, these guys are super professional, and to allow us to take part with them, it was just it's a life changing situation for us.
It is.
And we have a picture of that as well,
Yes,
don't
we
we?
do.
Okay, so here we have a picture of 4 veterans.
Yes.
I happen to be one of those as
Yes, you
well.
were.
I was honored to be selected, and we went down and placed a wreath at the unknown. The 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 guard that's marching with us,
Hmm.
they have certain requirements, and they are just super, super, super. Can't say any more than that. What
There's
what can you say about that?
there's so much honor and respect when you visit. Just Arlington in and of itself, and visiting the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier and just seeing the soldiers and just seeing the respect and the honor that is shown to these unknown soldiers, it's remarkable. And like you said, it's so memorable, and I think it's something that everyone should experience and go to. And it's just
Mhm.
a very solemn place to visit, and it's an honor to get to do it.
Absolutely. Now, Sarah, tell us about the schedule again for those that may want to sign up, have not signed up yet, but probably need to. So get pens, paper, and write all this information down that she's going to give you, because you don't want to miss out. You don't want to miss it.
So our next flight is April 14th through 16th. As of right now, 14th through 16th of 2023. We do have a waiting list for our veterans, but in order to go on this trip, you have to apply. So go to honorflightsouthernevada.org. That's where you can find the veteran applications. You can go online, you can fill it out right online, or you can fill out a paper copy, print it out, and mail it to us. Also, if you're ever interested in volunteering for Honor Flight Southern Nevada, we're all volunteers. You can do that as well. You can fill out a volunteer application online. And if you're interested in donating, all money that's received goes straight to the veterans, and we have very low overhead. Everything that comes in that's donated to us goes directly to the veterans, so they don't have to pay for their trips whatsoever. Um, but yes, if you are interested in going, we would love to have you. Please fill out that application, and we would love to meet you and get in contact with you.
Okay, you have all that information. Don't miss out. We definitely don't want you to miss out on this, because when we look at Honor Flight Southern Nevada and we look at the Guardians and we look at all the support staff that's there to make this just a wonderful, life changing trip for all the veterans. Um, I can't say enough about this. I encourage every veteran to sign up. Every veteran to sign up. Um, what more can we say?
I think just it you will be amazed at what an experience, a life-changing experience this will be for you. We have so many surprises in store for you, and you can't say no. You got to do it.
You got to do it, and I'm not going to tell about any of the surprises.
Thank
Uh,
you.
there are surprises. They'll surprise you all along the way. It's just a fantastic trip. It's something that you've served your country. You've served in a war zone. Um, we can't say enough about that. And please sign up. Please sign up. Get to meet Sarah. Get to meet the rest of the crew. Get to meet the Guardians. You're going to have a fantastic time.
All veterans deserve to be honored like this because Vietnam veterans did not get the welcome home they deserve.
Yes, and we don't even want to talk about that, but sign up for this, because this is the welcome that everybody deserves. And we want you to make sure that you write down everything that Sarah said, and remember, sign up for Honor Flight Southern Nevada. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being here, Sarah.
Thank you.
Really, thank you. And welcome back. And now I have our second set of guests with me, and I want to talk about Ed Bickle. He's with me right now. Welcome, Ed.
Oh, thanks for being here.
Okay, Ed is the operations manager for livingfreehealth.org. And we're going to be talking about what their program is all about. And for those that don't know anything about Living Free, I'm going to ask Ed to tell us more about that. But I also want to mention the fact that we have Shelley Pererio, and she's really the CEO and founder of Living Free. She's been on the show before, and I'll talk to Ed, and he'll let me know exactly when she was on, and we can go from there. But this program has just been truly outstanding, and I want you to know more about it as I learn more about it and find out some of their growth. But Ed, can you tell us more about what's going on with Living Free?
Well, Living Free is a 501c nonprofit founded in 2013 in Las Vegas by Shelly Perillo. Shelly moved Living Free out to to Pahrump in 2017. She opened up the first transitional men's house back in March 2018, and the women's in April 2018. It's a SAPTA certified state program. We consist of a men's house, women's house, and a women and children's house. In the women's house, you can have up to 2 children, 8 and under. We also opened up in the second quarter of this year. We opened up a recovery cafe. We have a 6,000 square foot of office space and operating space. We employ 15 people, 3 contractors. We also offer full-time salary, 401k. Um, we also have the workforce development that we provide volunteer work to our people in the program, as well as a possible work opportunity. We also offer with our services at Living Free is we work with the courts, work with
Okay.
justice court, district court, parole and probation. We work the juvenile probation program, a truancy program through the high school. Uh, we work with just self-referred people coming in that want to get clean. Um,
So anybody that has a problem could use Living Free.
Anybody that has a problem or needs information can call Living Free. Can come on in. If they want, they can get assessed. We can give them some insight, and if we cannot help them, and we can refer them to a higher level of care, depending on what their needs are.
Okay.
Um, it has to be drug. It's drug and alcohol
Drug and alcohol.
diagnosis first.
Okay.
If there's some behavioral issues, we can help them with that too as well.
But drug and alcohol is the
Is the main
primary.
primary. Is
Okay.
primary.
And and this is something that's definitely needed in our community and most communities. So we're just so glad to have Living Free here. Um, what are some of the biggest challenges you see today?
One of the biggest challenges right now would have to be the trank, the fentanyl, opioid crisis. Zalazine, which
Oh,
is called trank, has been put in about 90% of all the heroin and fentanyl as of 2021.
mm,
And well, I don't know if people don't realize what the trank does is it relaxes the muscles. It's for cattle, horses, it sedates. So when they cut the drugs with that, you'll notice a lot of people get stuck in their motions, and it puts a lot of unusual characteristics and criminal behavior
mm.
behind their addict behaviors. Um, you'll see a lot of high intense actions. They're very toxic, very
Oh, wow.
toxic. Another thing with the fentanyl, with the trank, it's pretty much started back in the East Coast and it's moving this way. It's already out here. I've known previous clients that have admitted to me of how they're using it. They get a pill, say a $5 pill. $5 to $15 can get you high for a day, depending on
Wow.
your tolerance. It can get you going. They'll take these pills, they'll break them up, and they'll smoke them on some foil. It's real easy. You can ingest them, you can snort them, but it's a real easy fix. And what happens? They just get stuck. A lot of people just get stuck. We're finding a lot of whatever they're putting in, it's making them more. They just want this. They just can't. They just having a hard time getting off it. But we have good success with people that want to stop the insanity when they come in. We assess them.
Okay.
We get them on a program, a structured program, a treatment plan. If they're willing to surrender, there is a way out. We have great success with people that want it. It's a hard thing to deal with.
So if somebody has a problem and they want to get out, like, as you stated, all they need to do is contact Living Free.
Contact Living Free.
And they can do that through the website. And can you repeat that website
Yeah,
again for us?
it's livingfreehealth.org.
Livingfreehealth.org. And so if you're writing that down, and you can get in touch with them if you have a problem or if you think you have a problem and you'd like to just put this behind you and clean up your life, that's what Living Free Health is all about.
Yes. Let me add some more into that real quick.
Go ahead.
The alcohol is still a huge problem. I mean, I know I started off with the fentanyl. I've just in recent months the heroin and the fentanyl, just the behaviors of some of the clients that come in,
Okay.
and I run into some people out. I motocross and go riding out, and I run into people out, and I see how I talk to them. I run in and I see how stuck they are. They want help, but the incentive to get help, to do the same old thing over and over, it's an issue with them. To get them to come down into the program, it's really hard. Sometimes they'll end up catching a case, and then they'll get referred through the system. And if that's the way they have to get clean, so be it. It's good. They can save themselves.
But when you say they get stuck, what do you mean by
When
that?
I say stuck, they get stuck in their behavior of um, getting high, panhandling, getting enough money, getting some assistance, EBT, get the food, sell the to get the drugs. They get stuck in a
Got
repetition,
you.
get
Got you.
high. They can live and
Okay.
do this pretty cheaply and pretty effectively. You'll see the panhandlers on the corners. You'll see them walking. A lot of times we're right now. In fact, in the last 3 months, I've ran to 3 or 4 possible clients that have come in and were dropped off from Vegas. They'll come in, they'll get high with a group or a person, or just get dropped off, and they'll end up in an encampment somewhere.
Wow.
And sometimes they've had it. They're tired. The drugs are running out. They're tired of ransacking an empty house or an RV, and then they'll come in. And usually, what we'll do is, depending on their circumstances, we'll refer them to a detox, and then we'll get them situated. They'll work with a case manager, and if it works out and they get certified through a detox program, get a certificate of completion, they can enter our program in our transitional living program. And it happens, but we're getting a influx of people from Vegas coming out here, and it's a similar story. It can be a similar story.
But Living Free is here, and we definitely appreciate them being here. But I understand you opened a cafe. You mentioned it earlier. Tell us about the cafe.
Well, the cafe has been a great addition to Living Free. Shelley saw an opportunity. The previous business closed its doors, and we had a great opportunity, and so we looked into that, and it worked out. And she decided that opening the cafe to the public and to help our clients, possible employment, workforce development, as we call it.
Okay.
We have a lot of clients that come in that have been high for a long time. They haven't worked or for a long time, or they've never worked at all. Uh, Part of being in our program and in transitional living is to get them assimilated back into society.
Okay.
Okay, and that means to get a job, do volunteer work, as well as stay clean. We're not just to sit and do program at the office and go home and watch TV in the homes. Our this is transition. This isn't just we're not warehousing. So in order to get out and part of our program get a job, we can train them some skills, culinary skills, get familiar with being around people and having a structured environment of work. And it's working out really well right now. It really
Well,
is. And we got a great environment. I'm in recovery. People I work with are in recovery. We have people in the cafe that are in recovery, and it's great. And they're feeling comfortable about themselves. And when you feel comfortable, your confidence level gets up. And then as you're closing out on your treatment and your program and your time with Living Free, um, you can when you graduate, you can stay with us, or if you want to move on, that's fine. But now you have some hours in. You're feeling good about yourself. You're around public now. You're assimilating with society and moving forward.
I was going to ask how the cafe is doing, but you've answered a lot of the questions. But I would like the viewing audience to know that I wanted to see exactly what the cafe was all about. So I took my wife there. We went there for lunch. Number one.
Thanks.
I loved it. My wife loved it, and we'll definitely be going back. And we're going to make it. We're gonna just put it on our schedule.
Great.
We don't get to many restaurants, but this is number one. That's going to be on top of our list.
Great. I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Okay. Now, what are some of the other things that Living Free Health does for our community?
Well, one thing we did this past September was we had a mobile recovery bus come in and stop. It was a tour. They kicked off a tour. It was a statewide tour, and they kicked it off with a big recovery bus. There was a lot of people came in, and it was a great kickoff in September. We
Okay.
sponsored that, served them up food. We contribute with Narcan training. We do Narcan training as well as the Narcan itself. You can take with you; it doesn't cost anything. Another thing we do is we provide treatment, pro bono treatment.
Oh,
Sometimes we run into individuals that can't afford our services, or um, they're sometimes their Medicaid, their coverage, Medicare coverage uh, is not covered by us. The
okay.
treatment, yeah, we accept Medicaid fee for service. Sometimes they're in a position that all they have is Medicare, and we cannot bill for that. And with that said, sometimes we're with our donations, we can offer when we're put in a good position, we can offer them free outpatient treatment. The housing and the transitional housing is free, provided by a grant. We have a housing grant. We have a great program. Shelley set up a great program to house and to make these accommodations for these people.
Now, Shelley is the one who makes sure you have all the grants. Is that
Yes,
correct?
that's correct.
And then the public has to make sure they give donations so
Mhm.
that you can stay in business to help people.
Exactly. And part of the proceeds from living free, a lot of it, other than paying the bills and keeping the lights on, is going to keep living free going. It all ties right back into living free's operations. So all the money made at the cafe is going right back into the people that we're
Okay.
servicing to get clean. And if people want to donate, they can go online to livingfreehealth.org. It's all set up on the website. It's an easy click donate button. It's real
Hit
simple.
the donate
You
button.
hit a donate. It's
Okay.
really simple.
If you want to help Living Free Health continue to help people in our community and outside of our community, uh, go ahead and go to the website, livingfreehealth.org, and find that donate button, and you can donate and help them help our community.
Right.
Okay. Look, come back and join us for the next session. We've got more to tell you. Welcome back. This is our final session. I'm with Ed Bickle, and he's with livingfreehealth.org. And this is an organization that does so much to help people get away from drugs, alcohol, and anything else that's really bothering them. They might want to just call Living Free Health and find out if they can do anything to help you. But drugs and alcohol is the primary thing that they're looking at. And so, Ed, I know I've had Shelley on this show before, when I guess when she first started, and that was back in 2018. But she's also been on since then, right?
Yes. Yeah. Back in November 2020.
Okay, and now December
Yep.
2022.
Yeah.
So,
That's it.
so this is her third time talking about this. So if you haven't heard about livingfreehealth.org, you need to learn more, and that's why they have the website. And you want to go ahead and give the website one more time.
That's livingfreehealth.org.
Go to that website, and you can also donate to help them help people in our community. And when I say our community, I'm talking about all of Southern Nevada, and as well as all of Nye County. So that's our community, and they're doing so much to help people, um, but they need help, and they can use your help. So you can go to the donate button at their website and donate to say, I'm doing something to help people in our community. Ed, there's so many other things that we want to talk about. What about future plans?
Future plans would be adding a fourth transitional living house, maybe if everything goes as planned, late in first quarter of 2023.
Okay, before you go to that fourth house, the other three houses, I know you mentioned it earlier, but if somebody missed it, what are the other three houses for?
The other three houses are the women's transitional living, the
Okay,
men's transitional living,
okay,
and the women and children's transitional living. And the women and children's transitional living, uh, we can house two children per mother,
okay.
8 years and under.
Oh, great.
Okay, and also with the women and children's, there's a program that Shelley's implemented. It's the PCAP, Parent Child Assistance Program.
Okay.
It's a great.
I
It's
haven't heard of that. What
that
is that all
well,
about?
that's we have Aaron and Kim, who Aaron manages the PCAP program.
Okay.
It's training for your mothers and the children. We have it's a great program. It's a they get trained, and it's reinforcing the parenting skills,
Okay.
and just educating the parents, because a lot of times the parents have been getting high for a long time. Their parenting skills were never there, non-existent. It was drugs first, kids last.
Wow.
So now we're reinforcing them as long as their treatment, as with their treatment at the office, their clinical treatment, they're getting the parenting program too as well. That's going really good. I mean, it's great. We have a cooking food. It's a health program. That's Aaron and Kim do that with them once a week. They prepare meals. They learn they're cooking. Some of them don't even never knew how to cook. So they're doing that together in the
Yes.
house. It's a great program. Great. It's a really great program. And as far as the parenting skills, we have educational from another lady named Lynn. She does it's educational. She comes in and teaches the parents with it. Parents, you know, there's certain the skills, the schooling on how to be a
Okay.
parent, and it's all certified. It's a really good program.
Now, is that coincide with the fourth house?
With the fourth house,
Yeah.
well, the fourth house, if we do get the fourth house, that'll will be determined how we're going to do that. With the need, depending on the clients and what house is full and how full it is, depending on,
Okay.
well, that'll be determined. That'll be staffed.
So,
Um,
so those are some of the future plans that Shelley has.
yeah, that is it.
Okay. Any other future plans?
Any other future plans would another plan would be a recovery gym. Uh,
Oh,
and
recovery gym.
yeah,
Oh, tell us about
yeah.
this.
Well, Shelly's big on recovery, fitness for recovery, which is really important. Being healthy, physical, getting out there and keeping fit is a great thing for recovery. She's wrote a book on it. She's very educated. Shelley has implemented a lot of education, a lot of fact-based, proven techniques into her program with the clinicians. It's part of our treatment. It's right in the treatment, right in the teachings that she's implemented. It's great. Um, so if that worked out, it'd be great. And the gym would be open to the public as well,
Okay.
and it'd be also workforce development with the clients as well. Um,
Now, you mentioned Shelley's book. How would somebody get a copy of her book?
She would they just call the office or just go on our website, livingfreehealth.org. It's a great educational piece. Shelley's a real she's a real sharp lady.
Uh,
she she really knows her stuff. I've learned a lot from Shelley.
she is that.
She's a great educator.
I'm going to say that we've all learned a lot from
Yeah,
Shelley, and this is just truly outstanding.
Shelley's definitely a diamond in the rough. I'm not kidding. She
Yeah.
is really good. She's brought a lot to the table in Pahrump. She's straight. She really believes in people, and she really wants them to succeed. And she goes over and aboard. I mean, over and above to help people get clean. It's a great program. I mean, like for instance, we have two company vehicles. The clients come into the program. They don't have any transportation until they get hooked up with transportation by MTM, Pahrump Valley Transit, which is provided by Medicaid. We take them to their appointments, doctor's
Okay.
appointments.
Okay.
We do a lot of, we take them to DMV. We help them get, if they need housing vouchers later on, we'll help them with that. If they need school courses, we work with the coalition. We'll take them to the coalition. We're working hand in hand with a lot of these companies, organizations.
Again, all this information is put together by Shelley, and that's one of the reasons I've had her on this show as often, um, because people need to know this. And I know we're getting the word out, but we need it out faster. And the only way to get it out faster is by you telling your friends, your neighbors, and other people about the fact that living free health is here. It's here and it's here to help.
Yes, it is. It
Well, Ed, how did you get involved with Living Free?
is. Well, this is quick. I as a recovering alcoholic, um, I got into a little drunken disorderly out at the lake Lake Mead with out my RV out there, and back in summer of 2018.
Okay.
I just got into a shouting match with another neighbor out at the lake, and the park ranger gave me a little send me to the clean for a second, and then I went to the judge, and the judge said, "Mr. Bickle, you're gonna have to do an alcohol awareness class, Facilo anger management." And so as I moved out to Pahrump, Shelly was the first one to answer the phone when I was making calls to do the course.
Okay.
And so as I decided my life it was getting unmanageable with alcohol. Um, and so as I decided to look in the mirror and stop the insanity, there was Shelly. And after a month of quitting on my own, Shelly gave me a call to see how I was doing. And I said, I think I should do your program. Let me do it. Let me do the program. A little education and a little programming would not hurt me at all. And so after I completed Shelly's outpatient program, I asked Shelly, I said, hey, look, I think I can get involved with this and be a contributing factor. If you have any openings, give me a holler. And with that, we started doing our AA and NA groups at the office, and I started chairing those. And shortly within a year after that, I believe, after I got out of the program, almost a year, Shelly, there was an opening, and I jumped right in, and I've been with her for 3 years now.
An outstanding example of what can happen
Mhm.
through this program.
Yeah. Once you decide to stop the insanity and lay down the arms, surrender, your life can be meaningful. And Shelly's a great person to have. I mean, to come into a town, I'm from Southern California, Pasadena area, come into a town and meet a person, just really a go person, straight person. She's a great friend. She's a good person, and she's a straight shooter.
We had a fundraiser recently for Living Free,
Yeah.
and I was very glad to be a part of that, a small part of that. But just to see the success of the fact that the community is rallying around what Shelley has put together with Living Free.
Yeah, it's been great. Shelly's really involved. She really likes working with the children, with the youth, with people, just getting involved and getting the word out there, getting the word out to Beatty, Tonopah, Armagosa area, try to move forward and get these people the help they need. And with Shelley's direction and with the people that we employ, we got a great work environment. It's a great place to work. It's a
So
really good
so whether
place.
so whether you're in Nye County or Clark County, Living Free is alive and well.
It is very alive and well.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Again, I think the world of Shelley, and I think the world of this organization, all the things that you're doing. So again, if you'd like to help Living Free Health.org, go to that website, livingfreehealth.org, find that donate button, and help them continue to help our community.
Thank you.
So, Ed, tell us more. We've still got some time, and I know there's a lot going on with Living Free Health.
Well,
Well,
okay.
I know you'd like to do that gymnasium.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. You can tell us more about the restaurant or the cafe. Um, I noticed something while I was in the cafe, and that's the books that you have for loaning.
Yeah, the books is another nice piece in the cafe. The people can come in and grab a book and take a book. They can bring them in. A lot of reading material. Another thing with the cafe I just remembered is the art. We work with the art council. Have their art in there. They can purchase the art as well. They go to the art council, and
Why don't we show some of those pictures?
yeah, it's great.
There's the Art Council. Yeah,
No, it's
that's the sign for Living Free Cafe. You gonna tell us what that is?
Yeah, there we go. That's our there's a cafe. Yeah, it's great. It's a really good place to work for the people in there. There is the mobile bus tour. That was great.
And that's with the judge as well.
The judge, yeah, and Tara from parole and probation there.
A- And that's the Living Free Cafe right there.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the address?
2050 North Highway 160. That's on the corner of Mesquite and 160.
Right at Mesquite. Can't
Yeah,
miss it.
can't miss it. That's
Okay.
great. Yeah, and there's the houses right there. We got really nice houses. Really set up really well. It's a very functional program. We offer a great service, hands down. We offer to me we offer everything that they need to become successful and free of their addiction. Yeah, it's a great program.
A wonderful program. Again, we'd like to thank you, Ed, and we'd like to thank Shelley for putting this program together for us. And then to come on the show and tell us more about it so that the viewing audience can at least know what you have to offer, and how to get in touch with you and help out where they can. So again, this is a 501c3 organization. They do accept donations. but they're there to help all of us.
Yes.
So thanks again for being
Well,
here,
thank
Ed.
you for having me on.
Okay.